Hey everyone, it's Tarrah here with Tarrah TV, where you learn to get more out of life with tips, inspiration, guidance on topics related to lifestyle, business, family, and wellness. And as you know, this month I've been talking to people that are creating wealth and freedom by starting online businesses in their spare time. And last week I interviewed teachers or formerly teachers and those in the education setting. And next week I'm going to talk to several who have been in the healthcare field. But this week we're focusing on military families and military personnel. And today I have a very special guest with me, very much a treat for you guys. This woman is on a mission, to just say the least, and she is on a mission to change lives. And she's a personal trainer, she's a certified health coach, and a newly retired lieutenant colonel. And I just wanted to welcome Rochelle T. Parks with us today. Hi, Rochelle.
Hello, hello, hello. Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining me. Rochelle, we met, I feel like, a couple conferences ago, maybe Orlando or Atlanta, and I always admired you and your posture and just your personality, your excitement, your energy. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited. We got to know each other a bit more on the cruise.
On the cruise, yes, absolutely.
The Allure of the Seas.
Ooh.
It was really fun, wasn't it?
It was awesome, yes.
And the food?
Amazing. Although, I found out after I returned, it's filled with lots of sodium. Was
it? Darn.
Oh, yeah, lots of sodium. It was good though. It was good while we were there, but lots of sodium.
It was a treat. That's all. Not a daily life, right?
No.
No. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for your service, and just really happy that there are people like you who choose to be in our military and serve our country. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It was an honor and a privilege. Absolutely.
That's awesome. And so about that, can you tell me just a little bit about more about yourself and how and about now that you're retired? What are you doing in your spare time? Are you sitting in your rocking chair? Did you take up knitting?
Actually, no. So before I retired, I was actually doing what I love to do, and that's helping people, I just say, feel better. So my story is a little, I guess as a little girl, I wanted to be a physician, so I thought I was going to be a pediatrician. And so I actually went to high school for the health profession in Houston, Texas. And so went to college, I did the MCATs, didn't go to medical school, ended up getting married and so on and so forth. But I always had this passion for science and health and wellness. And so God, in his wisdom, just brought it full circle. And so where I'm not wearing a lab coat and prescribing medication, I'm still helping people feel well. And so that's always been a passion of mine. And so I was doing that even in the military. I got my certification for health coaching. And of course, I had been training people forever. And so when I retired, I just started doing more of that full time, and so my latest venture has been the general manager for a Club Pilates franchise. And so really been really putting my feet to the fire with that and getting, enrolling new members and stuff. And so that's going to be an awesome opportunity down the line for my Shackley business as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. 1 second, I have to grab my dog before he runs away. So hold on just a second. Okay. Wow. Puppies. Okay. No, listen. Okay. So you have a lot of things going on, and you've always been in the business of wanting to help people, and you wanted to be in the health profession, and you ended up being in the health profession maybe a little differently than what you originally intended or thought it might look like. Mm-hmm. And so I know that you went to Howard and you went to Bellevue.
Yes.
Was it? And how and was that prior, or when you were in the Army, or like when did that happen? When did you go?
So I have some Army Reserve time, and then I have some active duty National Guard time.
Okay.
And so while I was in school, in undergrad, I was in the Army Reserves. I enlisted in the Army Reserves my senior year in high school. So December 19th, 1987, my senior in high school, which subsequently is actually my son's birthday, December 19th, 1996. But I just thought that was very significant that 9 years later I had a child. But that's when I raised my right hand to join the Army Reserves. And then I left, went off to school. That's what brought me to this area. I'm in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, and went to school while I was in the Army Reserves the whole time. So I did my 6 years in the Army Reserves. I graduated college in May of 93. I went into, I guess I don't know if the term, my contract was up in December of 93. Went into the inactive ready reserve. I'm giving you my whole resume. Went into the inactive ready reserve in December of 93. And then in May of 94, I enlisted into the District of Columbia Army National Guard, specifically to go through officer commissioning school. So that's because I was enlisted while I was in the reserve. So I went through there, went through OCS. I commissioned in August of 95. And then I had an opportunity to come on active duty in 98. And so then I was active duty for the Army National Guard. Hence, 20 years later, I retired, 2018.
Wow. And so as a civilian, I'm not quite up on like what the rank even means. I know it's pretty amazing. So tell me, like, what does the rank mean? What is that all about? Like a little bit, like, so I can understand.
So you have enlisted ranks, you hear privates, private first class, specialists, sergeants, things like that. And then you have officer ranks. You start with a second lieutenant, a first lieutenant, a captain, a major. Then you have a lieutenant colonel. Okay. Then after lieutenant colonel is full bird colonel, and then you have general. Whoa. So you can say I'm 2 ranks away from being a general.
You're basically running the show.
Yeah, so it was an amazing career. I had an opportunity to have a lot of great positions. I did deploy as a company commander. My branch is military police. That is my branch. So I was a military police officer. I deployed as a company commander, military police officer. So it's just been an amazing experience.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds amazing. I mean, and then you have a family.
I do. I am just celebrated 25 years of marriage in April with my husband, Michael, and we have 3 children. My son just graduated from college last month, and then I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old daughter, which probably people see on Facebook a lot.
And specifically, I know this is a little off topic, but I know you do something that's just been really inspirational to me. Every day you post on one of our club pages, our Shackley sites, a workout. So I know you're doing your workouts every single morning, and I mean every single morning. You post every single morning, isn't that true?
I do. I would say, I'm sure I know I've missed some days, but for the most part, I work out every day.
Yeah, and you post it and you give us a little inspiration, and so I really appreciate that you do that. And it's just, I know a lot of the Shackley family appreciates that too. So.
I am the health motivator, right? That's why I call myself the health motivator.
Exactly. So speaking of motivation, what motivated you to join? I mean, did you cover that already? I think you may have, but I don't think you covered what motivated you to join.
No, honestly, money for school, to be quite honest. I am the baby of 8 kids, and it just was no money left for me to go to school. And so that was an opportunity for me to go to school, using the GI Bill and just, tuition assistance. And so that was actually joining, when I was a kid, the old motto, be all you can be in the Army, whatever. And I used to see the commercials and they're doing the obstacle courses. And that's really something I've always wanted to do, the basic training. I always wanted to do it, but never thought I would do it. This opportunity, just kind of fell in my lap because, back then in high school, everybody used to take the ASVAB, the military entrance exam, like during your sophomore year or junior year. And the recruiters came calling because my scores were, I guess, decent, and they came calling and I needed money. And so my parents said, sign me up.
Yeah. Awesome. So did you tell us what your primary jobs were? Like at the end, maybe, what was your primary job in the military?
Okay, I've had many jobs. So as an officer, I'll just run through the ranks. So of course, I've been a platoon leader. I've been a company commander. I've been an officer recruiter. I've been an operations officer. I've been a inspector general. I've been a recruiting and retention battalion commander. And my last job was the deputy director of logistics. That was the last job I had before I retired.
Okay. What is logistics? What did
Logistics, like equipment.
Okay, equipment. Okay.
Equipment, yeah.
Cool. So how did your military experience like affect your career path that led you to what you're doing today as like an entrepreneur?
I think it's prepared me. I often tell my husband, I said, wow, when I look at where I am today, I think everything that I've experienced has prepared me for a time such as this, so just even like people comment about, I go live a lot on Facebook. I'm always talking, it's so, well, being an officer, you're always speaking in front of people, you're always giving presentations. And that can be to your soldiers, but that could be to generals as well. And I've done it all. I've briefed 1-star, 2-star, 3-star general. It's part of, it's all part of the thing. And so it's easy for me to go live on Facebook. It's easy for me. I've been doing it. And so I think unknowingly it was preparing me for this life after, and so when someone says, like a couple of weeks ago, I went and spoke at a church, I've been keynote speaker at women's retreats, but all of this has prepared me to be able to do what I love to do. It's just, I was doing it before and I loved my time in the military. So, but that was all the good stuff. But now I'm working in my passion, in my gift,
Right.
So, yeah.
So I know that we went to, like, on the ship, we went to a devotion together a couple times, and I know that faith plays a role in your life. And if you could just tell me a little bit about how it does play that role and how that plays a role in your business as well.
Well, it's who I am. I am a Christian. I do. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And so that permeates into every area of my life. I can't do anything without it. I can't be a part of it if that's not in it. That's not where I need. If I'm in it, then Jesus is in it. If Jesus is not in it, then I don't need to be in it. And so
that's probably a good quote. We could put that on.
I know. This came up. But no, it's who I am. And so absolutely, you need that, especially being an entrepreneur, because things don't always look great, and so you need to have faith, and then to know that I just believe, all things work together for good, as long as I feel like I'm operating in His will, not my own, and so that's with prayer every day, making sure that, the things I do, starting from I start my morning with devotion. And so I'm trying to align myself properly. That starts my day. And so, because if not, you could be all over the place. I could be all over the place. And so that's what keeps me grounded, in alignment. And as long as I feel like I'm in alignment, then I know it's all going to work out in the end. In the end, I win, regardless of what it looks like. In the end, I win.
Awesome. And speaking of morning routines, I was going to ask you kind of what your morning routine is, and like when you do rise and shine in the morning and go Facebook Live and all that. So like, give us just a little snapshot of like what your day looks like as an entrepreneur and what you do.
Okay. So I used to get up around 5, even though I'm retired, I still get up at 5, get myself cleaned up. Usually my husband is leaving close to that time, so I'm seeing him off. And then I'm usually downstairs on my bike in my gym, which is like right back there. If you see that door back there, that's the door to my gym. I'm usually in there by 5:30, 5:40. I have a devotion that I read daily. I read that. I pray. Sometimes depending on if it's a good devotion, I'll take a picture and text it to a few people. It's just encouragement for them. And then 6 o'clock, I'm on an accountability call. So I'm a part of, and I think I may have told you about that. I'm Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker in the world. He's actually my mentor.
And he's right near me in Lansing. We're in
yes,
and he's not far from us in Lansing. So
absolutely. And so I'm like his health and wellness coach. But he has an online university called Breathe University. And so I jump on this accountability call every morning, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7. It's like a Zoom call, just like this, normally around 40, 45 people on. And it's just accountability, right? Just we're giving our goals for the day, what we want to get accomplished. So after that, it's summertime now. And so my daughter, my 9-year-old, is in a basketball camp. So usually I get cleaned up, and then 8 o'clock, we're out of the house. Got to take her to basketball camp. And then today,
you're a working mom just like the rest of us, right?
I took her to camp, and then it doesn't stop. Like my daughter was like, "Mommy, I thought you were retired." I said, "Well, I'm not gonna be sitting around eating bonbons all day with my feet kicked up. I'm still working. I mean, I still have a business. I still things I want to do, and so I have a very active life, and it's been that way since I retired. But it's things that I want to do versus things I had to do. Because this is a choice. Even the general manager position, it's a choice. It's not, I don't have to do it. I want to do it. It's a choice.
Right. No, that's awesome. So what advice would you give other maybe high schoolers that are looking to take that same path you did, enlist, and maybe even just other people that are in the military, about entrepreneurship and about building another stream of income alongside your military career? What advice would you give them if that's something they might be interested in doing?
Well, I think the military is for everybody. I mean, I think everybody should have at least one enlistment, one term in the military. My son actually enlisted his senior year in high school. So he's in his 5th year. So his contract will be up in January. And so he did the same thing I did. He enlisted his senior year in high school, and he's using the money to pay for his school, right? I said, why use our money when you use free money? This is free money. It's free money. Plus, on top of that, you get trained. You get a skill. You learn leadership. You learn discipline. All these benefits. And so he's an entrepreneur. He's a photographer, and he's a very good photographer. So he takes my pictures. So all the not my iPhone pictures, but my professional photos he takes.
The one in the white dress.
Yeah, all those things. He takes those photos. And once I'm in the gym and I have on my gear, and he takes all of those photos. And so he's, gained something from that experience. And so he says he's gonna, get out when his term is up in January, but it served its purpose, And so I'm not saying you have to make a career out of it, but there's definitely a benefit from it. So I encourage all young people, because people say, well, would you have your kids? I'm like, yeah, my child did. I recruited him. When I was battalion commander, I recruited him. And he joined when I was over recruiting. And so, and my daughters, if they want to do it, like my 9-year-old says, Mommy, I'm going to do it too. I said, that's right, baby. My 15-year-old, I don't know.
They all can't. Maybe. They're all different, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. Well, I know that building a business like we do and network marketing is something that I'm just so grateful for, because I never would have met such interesting people in my life. You can do it living in your own little neighborhood, but it's so much, I think, broader to just meet like-minded people, and even ones that aren't like-minded, just to understand more of the world and how it works. And it's not easy being a network marketer and an entrepreneur, but it is a passion, and I think it's worth it. And I think that you have that same kind of mindset.
Absolutely. It's been great. My husband and I have done many network marketing businesses over the years because we believe in the concept. It's an awesome concept. And for anybody who doesn't understand it or who doesn't believe in it, I believe it's because they don't understand it. Right. Because if you understood it, you would see it to be as wonderful as we see it, So and having multiple streams of income is just the way to go. Anybody, working any type of job. When you look at the quadrant, the whole thing, a job is just, it's no guarantee. Right. It's no guarantee. And so, and even being self-employed, you just own your job, and so you just have to you have to be able to invest, be able to be, have a business, and so, and multiple streams of income is definitely what I'm all about.
Right. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your evening tonight to be with me. And if you guys are watching on Facebook and drop a comment, I know Rochelle will be happy to respond, or I would be happy to respond as well. But if you have even the slightest interest in becoming an entrepreneur, I encourage you to reach out to either one of us and schedule an appointment or a free tour of my online classrooms, and where you can learn the benefits offered of being a network marketer, where you'll learn the systems that we use to manage customers and how to create sales without selling. That's typically something that people are kind of afraid of, and we can show you how to do that without having to sell, and what products that we use are and why we use them, and the options for getting started. And I know the options for getting started right now is really, really amazing. There's an amazing deal out right now. Is that right, Rochelle?
Right.
And that won't last forever. So, but I would just encourage you to reach out to either one of us or drop a comment in the comment section, and we can respond to that if you want to know anything about Rochelle. And Rochelle, give me a little bit of like a plug for any of your stuff, and where can they find you on Facebook?
Rochelle T. Parks. I'm everywhere is Rochelle T. Parks. On
Everywhere.
Facebook, Rochelle T. Parks. Instagram, Rochelle T. Parks. Twitter, Rochelle T. Parks. My website, RochelleTParks.com. It's all about branding. Rochelle T. Parks.
Rochelle T. Parks, yeah, with an O.
Yeah, right, Rochelle T. Parks.
Exactly. So you'll find that. I tagged her in this post, so you'll find it on YouTube too. And I just thank you again for coming on. I appreciate you sharing with us a little bit about your military experience and how that's helped you grow to become the entrepreneur you are today.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for thinking of me.
You're welcome. I would do this every day with you if I could. It'd be hilarious and funny if I was to show you my morning routine and compared to yours. Maybe we'll do that one day.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Oh, that would be great. Awesome. Well, I'm going to stop the live stream, and great. And thank you for joining us from Tarrah TV.